Hey guys, Lloyd here, back again with another edition of Throwback Thursdays, and today I'll be taking a look at the Todd Toys / McFarlane Toys Spawn Series 1 Spawn. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, as I said before, today we are taking a look at Spawn. This is the first ever Spawn action figure that was ever created by Mr. Todd McFarlane himself, while McFarlane Toys was still known as Todd Toys. They had to change the name of the company because Mattel thought people would get confused between Spawn and Barbie's younger brother Todd. I don't know about you, but I'm going to call bullshit, because, well, that's just Mattel being Mattel, because they're Mattel. But, what do I know? Either way, we are taking a look at this guy, not only because, in case you're living under a freaking rock, there was this little thing on Kickstarter last year that earned $3.4 million. We're not looking at this figure because of all that. And the fact that it's high time I did another Throwback Thursdays because, well, last one I did was in, like, November. Or December? It was in December. It was the Beast Wars Megatron. I did 2 Throwback Thursdays. Then I guess took a vacation from that. But we're getting back to it because, well, I have lots of vintage / retro action figures that would definitely fit this bill. Me being a huge Spawn fan, and the fact that there's a massive Spawn resurgence this year, it's definitely going to help the fact that I'm going to get back to doing Throwback Thursdays a little bit more on the regular. Not sure what the next one will be, but maybe the Scarlet Edge Mandarin Spawn, because that figure is going to be out in about a month or so. So, yeah, new version, not the old version, of course. But as far as Spawn goes, gonna be honest, I never really read any of the comics. Looked at the awesome artwork, because, I like Todd McFarlane's art, sue me. But I did enjoy the movie, starring Michael J. White, and the HBO animated series, starring one of my favorite voice actors of all time, Keith David, as the voice of the mighty Spawn. He was in this little show called Gargoyles, so, for those of you who didn't know, you do now, and knowing is half the battle. Wrong toy line, I know, but getting into the meat and taters of this review, we have the Spawn comic, which I believe this is a reprint of Spawn 1. I'm not going to open it and give you any spoilers. You have to buy your own, or, wait like me to get your damn Masterworks remastered Spawn 1 figure, because FedEx is too damn slow. Either way. Got some nice artwork on the front. Then on the back, you could see a cross-sell of Spawn Series 1. You got Spawn, Tremor, Violator, Overt Kill. Never really knew why they call him Overt Kill instead of just Overkill. Maybe the band would have sued him for that one. Because, McFarlane's all about them lawsuits for whatever reason. Then you got the Clown. And Medieval Spawn, which I think might be the next Kickstarter figure. I'm not sure, so we'll have to take a look-see at him one of these days on Throwback Thursdays. And then you also have the Spawnmobile, which they made a Hot Wheel of, which I need to have. The Violator Monster Rig, and the infamous Spawn Alley playset. So, yeah, I believe this was also dedicated to Jack Kirby, who, without him and Todd McFarlane, wouldn't have a lot of shit I like. So, that being said, taking a look-see at Spawn here. As far as accessories go, he has this giant cape, which is supposed to fold up, but I wouldn't advise that. This is not like soft rubber, this is stiff plastic. With the exception of this side being kind of warped in already and having kind of a softer little cut here to allow it to fold out like this. You don't want to bend this. I just leave this alone. The cape is awesome as it is, and it would suck to break it. But he also comes with this little 2x4 with a nail in it. That's kind of whatever. I think it's kind of silly. But does fit in his hand nice. Pretty easily. He's got these chains on his belt, which I am not going to remove for you guys because I don't feel like killing myself later because I am insignificant and can't get those sons of bitches back in the hole. It's just too damn hard. And then he's got the little chain clasp around his neck there. But other than that, he's got his red gloves with the spikes on the hands. There and there. He's got a spiked bracelet on his arm, his bicep there. He's got a thigh pouch thingy. It's got a bunch of pouches across his leg. Then he's got a little spiked bracer on his shin there. No peg holes at the bottom of his feet though. And then his cape does have this plugs into his back. I'm not taking this thing off. If you want me to, well, that's just too bad, isn't it? But as far as articulation goes, it's like a 90s Toy Biz figure. His head will rotate pretty easily. Watch out for this chain clasp. It is a separate piece and is popping out on one side. Holy crap. There we go. Gee whiz. Stay in there. That didn't take very long. His arms will move up and down. His hips will kick forward and back a little bit. And then he has a single hinge at the knee. Which doesn't really get... it does give you a 90, doesn't it? Yeah, it gives you a 90. He's got some metal pins in there, but it's the 90s. This figure looks cool to me. Just standing there. You know? And this kind of arm bracelet thing kind of helps lock the cape into place. Why is this thing popping out all the time? I might just have this glued in, this neck chain, and then the chains on his belt. But you can see he's got the Spawn white and red on his torso, red on his gloves, red on his thigh thing and his bicep thing. And then the cape's got a pretty nice sculpt for 94, right? 1994. This thing is almost, is it 30 years old, 25 years old? It's an old ass figure, man. But it's really nice, and I think it still holds up. I can see you buying this nowadays. It looks nice. Now, of course, they did do a crap load of variants of this guy, which unfortunately are all in storage because I have limited shelf space, and I don't want to spend that on variants. I might have the hamburger head kicking around somewhere out here, but I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea where that would be. I will say he is a little back heavy because of his cape. But they did do the hamburger head, or as I like to call it, the worm head, where he's got the just the kind of rotting face. And then they did the zipper edition of the hamburger head, which is where he's got the stitch across his face because Batman threw a batarang in his face and messed it up more than it already was. And then they did the necroplasm variant, which is like a translucent green variant, which looks pretty cool. I have that as well. And then there's a blue variant, where it's blue instead of black with the regular Spawn colors. Kind of like the medieval Spawn's color palette, something like that, except maybe it still has the same white as this guy. It doesn't have that cream color like the medieval Spawn. Other than that, they did do... I know they did a gold version of it. I'm not sure if they did a silver or anything else, but they did do a couple of solid color variations of this figure. And knowing Todd, we might get that with that new Masterworks edition of this figure. So that being said, let's take a look-see at some comparisons here. Of course, we got the regular, the Mortal Kombat Spawn, who is pretty much everyone's favorite Spawn now, because it's the most articulated Spawn. Tilt the camera up so you can see his noggin there. And then we'll bring in our other regular. It's going to be a little hard to do this because of this cape, but here is Brother Mandibulus. And this just goes to show you how much not only McFarlane Toys has evolved, but the Four Horsemen as well, because Four Horsemen got their start at McFarlane Toys, kind of broke off in the early 2000s, and are now making one of my favorite action figure lines of all time, Mythic Legions. So, you got that going for you. So, pretty much because of Spawn, we got two really kick-ass toy companies that are just killing it on all cylinders. Just saying. And then next up, we have the 10th anniversary Spawn, which is an awesome figure. I do not have that cross base thing he comes with. I don't see that floating around on eBay very often. But I do like this figure. Don't get it twisted, but I will say the cape is kind of a nightmare. Woo! Kind of likes to fall down because of how heavy it is. But there you go. There's the 10th anniversary Spawn. I'm just going to lie him down and be safe. And then, for shits and giggles, because I did talk about this figure a little bit, this version of Spawn, there is the Gold Label Mandarin Spawn, who is super tall. Jeez, up a little bit more so you can see his noggin, who I did get a replacement for if you watch my Instagram live video the other day. Instagram at overlord.productions. Dot is in the period, not dot is in the word. I did talk about this a little bit, but this is like a night and day difference compared to the one I reviewed last week, I think. So check that out if you haven't already. He had super loose and floppy legs. This one, not at all. A little bit loose, yes, but not to the point where he's falling on his ass all the time. So that's cool. But with that being said, straighten him out because I think he got knocked up a bit. There we go. That's pretty much it for this edition of Throwback Thursdays. This is an awesome figure. If you are a Spawn fan at all, you need to have this in your collection. I got this guy at a local comic shop for like $20, I think. Cooper's Cave. It's actually up the road from my place. So, really cool little comic shop. They have Marvel Selects, Marvel Legends, comics, trading cards. I think they have gaming minis. But they used to have a bunch of Spawn stuff, and this is one of the figures I got from there. I later got it at a toy show for like $5. So his price kind of fluctuates depending on where you get it from. I mean, that's kind of the case with most things, but I would say $10 to $20 is a solid price on this guy. If you want to get one with like an immaculate box, because he does come in that crazy clamshell that'll cut your fingers to hell when you try to open it. Maybe $30 if you want one in a pristine box, but other than that, I would say this is a definite must-buy if you're a Spawn fan. I have the whole first wave complete with the exception of Overkill's parking meter and comic book. Other than that, I have everything from that wave. And I am super happy to have it because Spawn is pretty much near and dear to my heart because it kind of spawned, no pun intended, okay, maybe a little bit, a lot of stuff I like, man. So, yeah, that's about it. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Throwback Thursdays. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more, I guess, reviews like this one. We're going to be doing more Throwback Thursdays this year because, well, we need to pick up the slack on that. There's no excuses for that bullshit. Because, well, I have lots of old stuff in this room I could be looking at. And other than 13 Days of Halloween or, hell, if I ever get to it, 12 Days of Christmas, I can probably review all kinds of vintage and retro action figures throughout the year without a holiday attached to them. So, We're probably going to do that. Depending on what the next Kickstarter is, I'll definitely take a look at that figure next. And I'll probably take a look at the Mandarin Spawn Scarlet Edge, because I definitely have that lying around. I got to find out where that is, though. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Also, in the comments, before I go, let me know if you have this figure, have any intention of getting this figure, or have not yet received your Masterworks figure, because FedEx sucks! Alright, that being said, now I'll catch you guys later.